Unfortunately, guys, I'm doing a part 2 of this video. The reason why I'm doing part 2 of this video is because I decided the worst time of day to go and do a video is out in the sun, and it is hot. It is so hot out. It actually got so hot that the phone overheated and actually stopped recording. So that's why there's a part 2. There's my Home Depot receipts. I'm going to touch on to what I was saying before was the reason why you don't want to use treated wood. I'm going to kneel down. Is because treated wood has a lot of chemicals in it. The reason why you're doing backyard farming or even front yard farming at home is to stay away from the chemicals that are out in the food that are at the supermarkets. And you'll notice it when you have a homegrown tomato and you know exactly what's in it, you know what's in your soil. You see the garbage pail behind me. I'm going to tilt to the other side. See the 2 garbage pails behind me? Those pails are actually part of full of actually a lot of food scraps that we have in soil and leaf cuttings. We also got grass cuttings in there and stuff, and we don't use any fertile. We use only JP's fertilizers from the gardening channel. We try to keep everything as organic as we can. We don't use pesticides. We don't use sprays. We water when we need to. After that, we let Mother Nature take its course, because you got to remember, a lot of this stuff does grow in nature. I got a lightning bug down below that's looking at me right now that says, "Don't touch me." The reason why is my mother touched one, I think yesterday, to see what it was, because we learned out that lightning bugs are beetles. I know I'm going off topic, but she touched it and its butt lit up and she went back in the house. So it's really funny. But the reason why you don't want those pesticides or those chemicals and stuff, it just taints your food. And if you actually have a cucumber that you grow, like I've had multiple cucumbers already, they taste like night and day from the store. From the store, they have a flavor to them, but when you actually have them homegrown, they taste so much better and they're full of flavor. And I'll mix them in with like meats, I'll mix them in with pasta, I'll mix them in with chicken, and they don't lose their flavor. It's still very potent. And the best thing about it is that when you pick it, it's fresh. That's the other thing you gotta remember. A lot of stuff that we buy from the store is already like a couple weeks old. It's not 3 hours old. So the flavor is so much more potent. That's another thing to remember as well. And being that there's no pesticides on anything, yes, it's a little harder to deal with pests, but if you do things the right way, like I do, I feed my birds and I feed my squirrels, and currently a rabbit that has inhabited my backyard. They don't go near anything at all. Actually, I got corn that's feed corn for chickens that I feed to my squirrels, and my squirrels have currently planted a bunch of corn in my front yard, which is cool, because then what I do is I take the corn and I feed them the corn pieces. It's just one perfect circle of life right there. The birds stay away from everything. And what's great with the birds being fed is they got a full belly. They know they're going to get seeds, and know they're going to get worms and stuff that I give them. When they come out to the backyard, to the garden, and there's fruits and stuff, they don't touch the fruits because they know they're going to get the other stuff. So what they end up doing is eating all the bugs and the insects that are going to harass my plants. So it's something you should definitely invest in looking at. Yes, it could be a little costly, but the cheapest place we've actually found to get birdseed from is actually Walmart, ironically. I'm not a big Walmart person. I don't like going there. It's just full of a lot of people. It's not that I don't like being around a lot of people. It's just there's a lot of people, and I get my shit and I want to leave, and there's a line with somebody in front of me with thousands of bags of potato chips and coupons, and I'm like, I got cash. Who wants cash? So anyway, we're going to go down that line over here. First thing I'm going to start off with is the boiled linseed oil. Okay, so it's 1 quart. So these are 24 feet long versus a 12-footer. I needed 1 1/4 quarts of linseed oil, which means obviously I had to buy more linseed oil when I had to go and get the 8-footers that are 2x4x8 versus the 1x1s I was using, which was a horrible idea because I decided to be lazy. And when I get lazy, I do stupid things. And that was a really stupid thing, because the last thing I wanted was for that whole top structure, when it's full of tomatoes, because it's going to be heavy at that point, breaks and falls down, the tomato plants are going to get killed, and unfortunately my poor corn on the other side is going to get killed. Before we transition into this, I know I got one more little tidbit, is you're not supposed to plant your corn next to your tomatoes, because it can there's bacteria and different stuff, and you're not supposed to plant your corn in rows. It's supposed to be in clusters. So I'm kind of winging that right now, and actually I've absolutely had no fungus, no mold, no issues with the corn growing next to the tomatoes. Could be the birds stopping it, who knows. For a quart, now this is also today is obviously July 18th, but I purchased this on July 13th of 2024. So just remember, whenever you're watching this video down the line, the price might be different. But at the time, with absolutely zero discounts going on, the clean KLEAN stripped boiled linseed oil was $15.48 a quart. It's a lot of money, but it goes a long way. You brush it on, and then I take a shop rag, the towels and stuff that I use to clean my vehicles. Over the years, they've gotten to the point where a lot of them are dingy, you can't really clean them, so I use one of those rags and wipe it all down. And then I stack them, let them sit for 24 hours. After that, I bought these metal strips. I put the metal strips on there to connect the 12-footers together. I bought 12 of those guys at 88 cents each. Those guys came out to $10.56. I had then bought 6 12-footers, 2x4x12. They're premium Douglas firs. They're $8.32 each. It came out to $51.66 for 6 of them. That was a nice grand total of $138 on that bill. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Let's retract. For the 12-footers, it actually came out to $49.92. The 2x2x8-footers, those skinny guys, I call them 1 inch, they're actually 2 inches. I bought 18 of them. They were at $2.87 each. That was $10.56. The galvanized strips that are on here, what did they do here? Oh my god, this fucking receipt's so screwed up. The 12-footers came out to $49. The 2x2x8-footers came out to $51.66, and the galvanized strips came out to $10.56. The way the printer is, the things are mixed around, and I can't read with my glasses off. It took them off because they get tinted too much. Obviously, I went out and got more linseed oil. That was another $15.48. I had to actually go out and get some screws. I got a box of screws. 5-pound box of screws. That was $31 for 3-inch screws. I didn't have any of those laying around. And then I went out and got the 2x4 by 96 inches Borelli premium fir studs. Those are the 2x4x8s that fixed the situation that was going on. So 3 of those guys came out to $11.55. There's a grand total on that guy as well. Premium fir. With the cost of everything, I would say if you want to do this as a budget for doing a 24-footer, I would say make sure you have at least a solid $300 a budget. You're going to look at a little over $200 from Home Depot. You got the strings, you got the hooks, and then you got the tomato clips. The tomato clips, honestly, out of everything is really the cheapest, and so is the wood. Now the wood, you're looking at probably 4 to 5 years of